Hi everyone, this is Fakun Shah from Integration Lab, and now as we have already completed the basics of Public Connect, like how to start and what does the every automation jargon means and how to create a one simple automation. Now we are going to move to some technical things like iterator, what is advanced response, what is simple response, how to use line itemizer, etc. Right. So let's first start with the array part. Okay, so what is the simple response and what is the advanced response, right? So let's see here. So in here you can see that I have passed some data in webhook, but the data which was captured has a label called data 0, data 1, data 2, 4, 5, 6. Now I can easily pass this data in Google Sheet if I am going to use 7 columns, right? But let's suppose I have total of 30 headers in the Google Sheet, and I don't know how many data is going to come in there, right? Then how will I pass the data? So in that case you need to use advanced response, so you can capture the data in an array format. What is array? So it looks something like this collection of values, right? So this is a very simple array, just a collection of strings. This is like collection of number. And how does it work? So let's click on recapture, right? And you can see here the simple response is turned on. So we are just going to copy the webhook URL, right? We are going to go in new tab, data is equal to, and then we are going to copy this number array, right? And we are going to copy paste, hit enter, and if we go here you can see data 0 like that. Okay, but what we want to do is we want to capture it as an array, so we can then later use it inside the iterator, right? So I am going to turn off this simple response and click on recapture webhook response. Go here again, hit enter one more time, and now it should capture it inside the array format. Okay, as you can see now it is captured in array format. So this is a very common use case, especially for the e-commerce platform or billing platform like that where data is coming in line item forms. Okay, so or array form, where you don't know how many items can be inside that array. So you want to capture that in array and you want to execute rest of the steps for each of the items, right? So what exactly I mean by that, for example, let's go here and you can see here the data is coming, the employees data is coming, but there are data for multiple employees. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 employee data is in there, right? So let's suppose you want to send them WhatsApp messages, but you want to send WhatsApp messages to all of them one by one, right? Then you need to use something called iterator. So iterator works as a loop. It will go to first item of the array, first item of the collection, and then it will execute all the remaining step for that. Then again it will go to second item, execute step for that, then third and fourth and so on, right? So it is very useful when you don't know the exact number of incoming items inside an array. Okay, just keep that in mind. We will going to use woocommerce as an example now, right? So to integrate woocommerce in Public Connect, you can just set up webhook as a trigger, copy it. We are going to go to woocommerce, click on webhook, add webhook, Public Connect, make it active, and order created. Delivery URL is this. Ignore the sound of dogs barking in case you are hearing that. Okay, sorry for that. Save webhook. Right. Okay, so webhook is saved now, and if we go here in the history, you will see that it must have some kind of data. See, it has sent one as a, so you now know, yeah, it is connected properly. Okay, so we are going to go back to Public Connect, click on recapture webhook data, and make sure your simple response is turned off, right? So we are going to capture in array. We are going to order a multiple product inside a single order. So here you can see I have selected multiple product, actually multiple items of one product as well. And let's go to cart now. and proceed to checkout. And yeah, so we are going to pass a dummy detail and just place an order. So order is placed and the data should be captured in public connect. It might take few seconds because that's how the WooCommerce works. Oh, I forgot to save the webhook, my mistake. So I will just reorder the items actually. Product 1 second time, add to cart and proceed to checkout, place an order. Okay, so data is captured here and you can see that this metadata and this line items are in an array format. Okay, here you can see. So you can see the product ID, product name, and you will see the same data twice actually. Let me copy this for you. JSON formatter, I think so this should work, but I am not 100% sure. So okay, yeah, so here you can see that ID of the product is there, name of the product is there, product ID is there, right? Even image is a array inside array, so it has multiple values in here, right? Not array inside array, it is a object image. And yeah, so you can see that there are multiple products in the order. Now we currently have only placed an order for 2 items, but we never know how many items can be there in order, right? And we want to send that data to Google Sheet. So one scenario is to use Iterator. So let's use the Iterator. You can see that it already selected one of the array, but we want to use line items array. Let's do a save and send test request. And here you can see this, right, that it is only giving us the first item detail. So that's how array Iterator works. While setting up the workflow, it only gives you the first item of the array, right? But in real time execution, it will go through all the item. So let's select the Google Sheet here and add new row, connect it. And I know the column names are not going to match, but I am just going to pass some dummy things to save us some time, right? So in email address, I am going to pass the ID. In message, I am going to pass the quantity. And in date and time, we are going to pass quantity is there, subtotal and total. Okay. So product ID, quantity and total. So let's go here actually. Product ID, quantity, and the last one was total. Right, let's delete 4 of this row which are not required, and let's go back here and let's try to push the data one time actually, and you will see that we have received the data properly. Now if we actually refresh this, it should reflect the updated column headers. Yeah, but it removes the mapping, because the names are changed. That's why I tried to avoid it, but yeah, no worries. We are just going to map it again. And yeah, quantity is 1 and total is 2. Yep, right. So we are going to send it one more time, right? And yeah, so we are able to see the data here, right? But we will just remove this and we are going to test it real time. Okay, so let's go here and order some items again, add to cart. This time I will order product 2, 1, 2 and 3 times, and then I will go here, open view cart in new tab, place an order. And okay, yeah, so again 2 items in there, it should add both the items in 2 different rows, one by one, right? So if we go to Public Connect history, it hasn't triggered yet, so it might take some time to trigger the webhook. Maybe we can go to orders and we can check in there as well if the order is processed. Yeah, 30 seconds. So let's refresh this one more time. Okay, here we are. Okay, both products are in there. Now let's do the same thing but little bit differently. So instead of using Iterator, I am going to use something else. So instead of Iterator, let's use something called line itemizer inside the, which is Iterator module data transformer, and that has a thing called line itemizer. There are some other useful features as well, right? You can use those as well, but my favorite is line itemizer. I only use that most of the time. So again you need to pass the array, and to pass the array you need to pass line items here. Okay, so save and send test request, and you can see that values are comma separated. For example, the id, so id of the product was 2 and 3, and here you can see that they are comma separated. Right now, how will I use it in the next step then? So use add multiple row action instead of add new row, right? And then we are going to map that line itemizer data in here. So name, product id, and quantity, and let's say total, right? And if we do a save and send test request, you can see, right, both data added. Now here comes the base part. Let's suppose I order product 1, product 2, and actually let me do something for you, like, okay, let's duplicate this actually, right? And let's make it product 3, price is 3. Let's publish it. Let's go to product 3, add to cart, right? And let's do a view cart, right? So now there are 3 items. Click on proceed to checkout and place an order. Right now 3 extra rows should be added, 6, 7 and 8. It might take some time, but the thing which I wanted to show you, so here you can see the task consumption as per I have taught you the history checking in last videos, right? So you can see the two of the tasks were free out of 4-step workflow. So it used 2 tasks for 2 item orders, right, to add them into Google Sheet. Right here you can see 2 Google Sheet steps are paid one, all others are free, right? So that is one way. Now the issue you can face in this one is, let's suppose someone is ordering like made items like 150 items. In that case, Google Sheet will fail because of the rate limit issue, right? We don't want that. The option is to avoid that is adding delay, but that is too long. I don't want to do that either, right? So that's why we used, did I place an order complete? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, it is, I think so, maybe a minute change delay. So that is why we have used something called Google Sheet add multiple rows action, right? And what it does is basically that it is going to add all the data in one go. So let's suppose you are getting 1000 item order. Okay, then again it is only going to use single task instead of using 1000 tasks for you. So yeah, that is the benefit. Okay, WooCommerce webhook based trigger are the only trigger I have found that which are not very instant. They may take some time. So I am going to just place one more order here. So we might be able to check multiple things. Okay, let's place an order for item 2 and 3 here. Oh, the order was already in here. Okay, so yeah, 6, 7, and 8 was the previous order, right? And you can see if we go to history and refresh it, okay, you can see that it only used one task. Even if this order had 3 items inside it, it only used one task. So this way you can save a lot of tasks when the data is coming into array format. Plus you can also avoid the rate limiting error, which is super huge beneficial thing in my opinion. Okay, so yeah, this is all about iterator, line itemizer, and simple response and advanced response. I hope it is much more clear for you now that when to use mm, advanced response and when to use simple response, and how to use iterator as well, right? Iterator is just basically a loop. Line itemizer is just basically a comma separated array values for each of the labels. Okay, and simple response in turn on means everything is in separate rows, human readable form. Simple response turned off. Advanced response means everything is in array format if possible. Okay, okay, next, see you